So you've got the potential to have better performance and outcomes.
Mm-hmm.
You've got the potential for cost savings. Those are two pretty big ones, but are there any other outcomes that you might be able to get with a BPO?
Better performance for less is kind of the tagline, but things like risk, you can get a different geographic footprint. So depending on the scale, we look at things like what happens with geopolitical problems, what happens with recruitment problems. If you're, let's pick on healthcare, a healthcare provider in a region in the US, sometimes it's really hard to get people. And we've had many healthcare organizations come to us, and they're not saying we need to save money. They're fine with that, but that's not their primary objective. The primary objective is, I can't reschedule the people that need rescheduled because I can't get to the phone, because I don't have enough people, because the people I hire to do that job, sometimes they even move within their own organization. Like that entry-level position is super hard to keep filled because they get cherry-picked off to go do other roles within that organization, or they get offered more money to go work somewhere else. So I think solving I have a retention problem is probably the biggest other.
Mm.
So that falls into that bucket of risk. So being geographically concentrated in one area provides lots of potential risks. And literally you now can have a global network of locations. You don't have to go build them, but you have access to resources across the globe that pretty much no matter what happens, you'll have the customer support.
Mm-hmm.
So mitigating that risk would be the other area.
Scalability, I would assume, especially if you're a seasonal business, maybe retail, and you don't have to worry about the ups and downs of scheduling.
Yeah. There's lots of companies. It's weird, right? If you look at most seasonal peaks, they all seem to be in Q4. Yeah. Healthcare's got open enrollment. Retail has the holiday shopping season. There's a few like pest control that have a wonderful time because their peaks at the opposite time. But for the most part, all of the peaks hit the same. So you're competing with lots of other industries for the same labor pool. It becomes difficult. So yeah, scalability, making the scalability somebody else's problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The scalability headaches don't magically disappear just because you have a BPO. It's just not something that you have to deal with. You're outsourcing that problem to somebody else who's well-versed at doing that. And it's a very good question as you're going through the vetting process of finding a BPO, which is what we spend our lives doing. Hey, how do you scale? What are your strategies for this? And a lot of the feedback that's given to brands is how to be able to scale and do it effectively and how to work in partnership. So it doesn't remove the problem. It just removes the problem from being your problem.
Right. Last thought I had was, what about training, rolling out a new product, for example? I mean, are they maybe more nimble and able to take something new, a new feature, new product, whatever, and get the team trained up faster than a contact center that you're running yourself, potentially?
Yeah, this is another example of doing it right is the best combination of the brand and the partner and technology. So there's great tools for training. AI plays a part here. The principle of please don't practice on my customers. AI roleplay is fantastic for that. So the dream state scenario is that the brand has good quality training content. They share it with the BPO partner. The BPO partner runs through technologies that allow them to rapidly roll it out to the agents and test for proficiency. So when the product rollout hits, they're all ready for whatever comes. So yeah, it's combining the skill sets and the familiarity. We were talking earlier today about something that the first time you do something, or the first time in a while that you do something, there's always that learning curve, or not relearning curve. If you think about it, the BPO is dealing with many different clients going through similar things. So they've done it much more recently than you would have done as a brand. If you do a product rollout once a year, it's been 12 months. And it's kind of like airports. Apparently travels on my brain, but airports, the first time it snows in a snowy climate, an inch will shut the airport down. You get solidly into the winter and a foot doesn't shut them down. So I think that's what the BPO brings is that recency bias that allows them to be more efficient.